The Galactic Council chambers fell silent as Ambassador Kate Morrison walked to the central podium, her boots echoing against the crystalline floor. Around her, representatives from 47 species watched with a mixture of curiosity and barely concealed disdain. Humans were still the newcomers here, the primitives who had stumbled into faster-than-light travel barely 3 decades ago. Kate's expression remained neutral, but her jaw tightened as she read the official decree projected before her. The Xanthir Empire had declared war on the peaceful Lirani Commonwealth, the first species to extend genuine friendship to humanity when they had emerged into the galactic community. "The Council has voted," announced Supreme Arbiter Zeltok, his 3 eyes blinking in sequence. "Non-interference is the decision. The Lirani-Xanthir conflict is classified as an internal sector dispute." Kate's hand gripped the podium. "The Xanthir have 12 battle fleets. The Lirani have researchers and farmers. This isn't a war, it's genocide." "The vote is final, Ambassador Morrison," Zeltok replied coldly. Kate nodded slowly, her blue eyes scanning the assembly. When she spoke again, her voice was quiet but carried to every corner of the vast chamber. "Then humanity respectfully withdraws from this council, effective immediately." The chamber erupted in surprised chatter. Zeltok's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. "You would abandon your seat over this? Your species will be isolated, vulnerable." "No," Kate said simply. "We remember who stood with us when we needed friends. The Lirani offered us knowledge, trade, and respect when everyone else in this room called us barbaric primates. Humanity doesn't forget its debts." She turned and walked out, ignoring the cacophony of alien voices behind her. Alo Chen sat in the captain's chair of the UNS Defiance, watching the tactical display with practiced calm. Around him, 37 other human vessels hung in the void, dark and silent. They had been waiting at the edge of the Lirani home system for 6 hours. "Captain," his communications officer called out, "Ambassador Morrison's shuttle is approaching." Minutes later, Kate strode onto the bridge, still wearing her diplomatic attire. She looked exhausted but determined. "The Council refused," she said without preamble. "We're on our own," Alo nodded, having expected nothing less. "The Xanthir fleet will arrive in 40 minutes. Intel suggests 300 warships." Kate's eyes widened slightly. "We have 38 ships." "Yep." Alo's grin was predatory. "They don't know much about humans, do they?" "They know we're young, technologically inferior," Kate said, moving to stand beside his chair. "They think we're weak." "Then they're about to learn something important." Alo activated the fleet-wide channel. "All ships, this is Chen. Battle protocols are active. Remember, we're not here to win a fair fight. We're here to make them bleed for every inch." The Xanthir fleet emerged from hyperspace like a swarm of gleaming insects, their ships massive and ancient, powered by technology millennia old. Admiral Kreth, commander of the invasion force, reviewed the sensor data with satisfaction. The Lirani defensive platforms were minimal, easily swept aside. Then his tactical officer stiffened. "Admiral, 38 unknown vessels are accelerating toward us." Kreth's scales rippled in confusion. "Identify them. They're human ships, Admiral." Kreth's laugh was a harsh rasp. "Humans? The primitives from the Rim? Ignore them. Focus on the planetary bombardment coordinates." That dismissal lasted exactly 47 seconds. The human ships didn't maneuver like any vessels Kreth had encountered. They were fast, impossibly fast, and their acceleration patterns were erratic, unpredictable. His targeting systems struggled to lock on. Then the humans opened fire. The weapons themselves were crude by galactic standards: kinetic accelerators, nuclear-tipped missiles, primitive plasma cannons. But the humans used them with a ferocity that shocked Kreth to his core. They didn't engage at safe distances. They dove into his formation like predators, weaving through defensive fire, accepting damage that should have forced any sane commander to retreat. The UNS Defiance shuddered as a Xanthir energy lance carved across her hull, but Ilo didn't even blink. "Return fire, spread pattern, target their sensor arrays." Kate watched from the tactical station as human ships executed maneuvers that would have been considered suicidal by galactic standards. They used the Xanthir's own vessels as shields, calculating vectors that forced the enemy to risk friendly fire. "This is insane," she whispered. "This is human," Alo corrected. "We don't fight fair. We fight to win." The UNS Valkyrie, her hull breached in a dozen places, rammed a Xanthir battlecruiser at full acceleration. The explosion took out 4 enemy vessels. The captain and crew had already evacuated in escape pods, timing their abandonment to the millisecond. Admiral Kreth's confidence began to crumble. His ships were dying. These humans were using tactics no civilized species would consider. Kamikaze runs. Nuclear mines deployed with such proximity they damaged their own ships. Boarding parties that fought with blades and bullets when their advanced weapons failed. "Admiral, we've lost 74 ships," his tactical officer reported, voice trembling. "The humans have lost 9. Impossible." But it wasn't. The humans had studied every battle, every war the galaxy had recorded. They had learned from species that hadn't fought a real war in centuries. Then added their own brutal innovations, strategies born from thousands of years of killing each other on a primitive world. Alo watched another Xanthir formation break apart. "Kate, send a message to Kreth. Tell him he can retreat now or we keep going." Kate transmitted the message. Minutes passed. Then, impossibly, the Xanthir fleet began to withdraw, limping back toward hyperspace. The Lirani Chancellor appeared on every screen in the bridge, tears streaming down her face. "You came. You actually came," Kate smiled wearily. "You were there when we needed friends. We don't forget." The recording of the battle spread across the galactic network within hours. Species that had dismissed humanity watched in horror as 38 primitive ships shattered an armada that should have crushed them. In the council chambers, Supreme Arbiter Zeltok reviewed the tactical data for the 5th time. The humans hadn't just won, they had done so with a savagery, creativity, and determination that no galactic species had displayed in millennia. "Perhaps," he muttered to himself, "we should have helped the Lirani." His aide approached nervously. "Sir, the human ambassador is requesting to address the council. Tell her humanity's seat will be waiting whenever they choose to return." Zeltok watched the battle footage again, watching human ships dance through fire that should have destroyed them. The galaxy had forgotten what it meant to fight, to truly struggle for survival. But humanity remembered. And now everyone else would remember too. Never cross those who repay their debts, for humans write their gratitude in the stars and their vengeance in blood.